All right, so trigger alert, if you don't like wounds or goo, look away. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I got MOHS surgery on half of my face not half of my face, on my nose on Monday. And so I've been a few days behind on the videos. I've been real tired. Today's Wednesday, and I had some skin cancer. It's finally swelling down. It was really good the first day, didn't swell up at all. Yesterday it went crazy. I had one here and one down here, so he removed it all the way down. We'll see. I don't know how that scar is gonna heal, but there it is. So the reason I'm posting is I have not been posting. Prior to this, I was busy trying to get other stuff done before my surgery, and so it's just been like so much. A little bit of trigger thumb, but this is making it so it's with my eye puffy. It's kind of hard to sit and stare at anything for a long period of time. It's starting to ache a little bit, but I did do one video today, which is an abstract. I love doing the abstracts. They're fun, they're simple. When you're tired and you're not feeling up to doing anything that takes a lot of concentration, it's just, for me, it's like playing in the sand, I guess. When I was little, playing in the making mud pies or playing in the sandbox. It's just totally relaxing. So I hope you enjoy this. This is a Happy Easter painting. And again, it's blobby abstracts, and it was a lot of fun, and you should give it a try. We'll list out the colors below that I used, and also the pens that I used. I used those Pilot G-Tech C4, I think they are, pens again. And hopefully next week I'll be feeling better and be able to do some videos that are a little more intensive. But for today, it was about all I could do, and it was just fun. So I thought I'd share it because it turned out I liked it a lot. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll be able to do a video and the swelling will have gone down. Have a great day, and let's paint. All right, so we're going to start out the painting with my favorite stamp, the ball jar stamp that I will link in the comments. I bought it at Michael's, but I believe I posted a link on one of the other videos that I did. I'm not sure if it's through Amazon. If it is through Amazon, I am an Amazon affiliate, so a small commission is paid, but you pay the same amount as you would if you ordered it direct. Also, I will link the paints that I'm using. I reloaded my palette here with some Winsor Newton and Daniel Smith colors, and the one that I'm mixing is this, oh my goodness, Imperial Purple, Daniel Smith, and the purple is amazing. It's got blues and pinks in it, and you'll see as we paint this how beautiful they are. So really, it's just anyone can do this, any age, any artistic level. You're just taking your paintbrush and you're doing blobs of paint. And I actually try to go out of my way. I do want them to look like flowers, but I don't go out of my way to shape them like flowers. Like if I were purposefully drawing a tulip, it would be a little different. So I really go out of my way to just wiggle the brush, wiggle my hand, make it somewhat circular or oval, and just bounce from color to color. First I lay in all the pink, and then I'm going to go back through. We're going back through with the purple, so that it's somewhat of a balanced composition. You know, you don't want all the pink on one side and all the purple on the other, unless you're going for that effect. Again, because it's an abstract, you can pretty much do what you want. But I find with this method that it is best to bounce around and then try to touch the flowers together in certain spots so that the colors run together. And you can do the entire painting with this. I have a number 8 Princeton round velvet touch brush. It's not one of their more expensive brushes. It's not like the Neptunes. It doesn't hold a ton of water, but it holds just enough. I think it's a really good beginner level brush to use. And I'll also put that in the link below. So with this technique, you just pick your colors, put in the one color, and then bounce around and add more color. I kind of go in with a light wash of each color, the pink, the yellow, the purple, and then I go back in with some darker blobs on top of it. And then I like to add the green while it's still wet. And I also like to wet the area, the container down below, so that when the stems get put in, they run a little bit and appear a little bit blurry like they would through when you're looking through a glass. They're a little bit less clear below the water. Even when the water's super clean, they're a bit blurry. So this is a Daniel Smith Serpentine Genuine Green that I've kind of fallen in love with as well. These are all colors that I haven't been using regularly on my palette, and so I filled it up last night, so they're almost completely dry. But I wanted to put together kind of an Eastery palette, so, or a rainbow. It's kind of a rainbow there. And after you're done with the super wet part, what you want to do, the beginning is very wet on your brush so that the colors really mix together. When I'm going back in with these dots, these centers of the flowers, or just giving it a little bit more shape rather than just being blobs with nothing for your eye to look at, I go in with a little bit more pigment and a little bit less water on the brush. And I do it while it's still fairly wet, and then I wait for it to dry a little bit more and do it again. I just kind of keep putting the centers in, and it adds these nice layers of flowers. Nice layers of color. I'm so tired from my face. Anyways, let's see. So the leaves add a nice, beautiful touch to this. And I try to fill in, I leave a lot of white space when I'm doing this. I've found as I've painted and learned with watercolors that the paintings that I've liked the least are ones where I haven't left a little bit of white space in. And I've filled every single bit with color. Watercolor really benefits from some white showing through, regardless of the subject, I have found in my painting. And so now I just keep adding a little bit darker green to the lighter green, because you don't want just one shade of green. And I like to make it a little darker the top of the ball jar and under the flowers, because it should have a little bit of shade. Even though it's abstract, obviously it's a bouquet of flowers. Or I think obviously, maybe not. And I'm a little unhappy with the way I did one leaf right next to the other. So I did another, it looks like it's almost going to give you a hug. But then I put another green leaf below it to kind of maybe offset that a little bit. Sometimes as you're painting, things don't stick out at you until you're done, and you just go, ugh, why did I put that there? Sometimes you can fix it, sometimes you can't. Now, I love adding the yellow that I'm adding in there at the end is running into the flower, and then I did a real pigmenty drop of pigment and water, less water, more pigment, and then I'm pulling out the color in the middle of both of those flowers, and just trying to give each of the flowers a little bit more of a focal point, not totally, but you kind of go back in with a little color and drop it in where you feel like it could use a little bit of help or more color. But I mean, you could quit at this point if you like it. I pretty much always continue to overwork things. And then these two that I kind of wanted to look like daffodils, I'm putting the orange center in and letting that run out, and hopefully give it a look of a little bit a look of a daffodil. And there's really no wrong way to do this. When you get out your paints and start doing this, it's such a wonderful, relaxing, for me, it's just so relaxing because it's the watercolors doing what, why do people use watercolors, or why do I use watercolors? So that the color blends that you really can't control. It's always, you couldn't, it's very hard to duplicate a painting twice. And it always amazes me how different each painting looks. Even if you're kind of doing the same kind of thing, the colors just run in different ways. And if you change one color on your palette, it looks completely different. So watercolors to me are just this amazing, fun, wild, different way to paint. Oils, I think, are a little more easily controllable, I guess, and you can fix your mistakes easier. With watercolor, I don't really think of anything as a mistake. I just think of it as a learning experience, and I don't. You can overwork watercolor much easier than any of the other mediums. So I just kind of, if I can add something to take away from a mistake with watercolor, I will. If not, I just kind of leave it. And a lot of times it just jumps out at you and not necessarily at the people who are looking at it. Now, I love adding water to these darker colors after they're halfway dry, and then wiping out so that you can kind of see it looks now like there's a little bit of light on that bottom purple flower. And I'm adding a little bit more dark in on the dark. I like to have little pops of dark flowers in there as well. And then I go back in and kind of take off some paint in some areas that I think could have some light on them. And I don't know, I'm pretty happy with the composition. And I think it can always benefit. I like to add a little blue to the water, even though the water's clear and not blue, and a little shadow underneath, because unless you want that floating out there, like you're painting floating like that, you want to anchor it down. So I love this purple and using this purple in the shadows, because it's got, like I said, the imperial violet from Daniel Smith. It's got pinks and blues in it, and so it's not just this flat purple. It's just a gorgeous color. So I go under and wet it, and then I go back under with a darker line, and also into the glass, because you can see through the glass, and it should be darker under there. And then I add a little bit of, you could leave the glass plain, but in real life there would be some reflections of whatever is around it bouncing into the glass. So I like to add a little pink and a little purple up to the top, and just about finished. But I think what I want to do is also add, I think I'm going to add the Pilot pens to this. Let me bring it up close so you can kind of see the swirling of the colors. The light kind of, it's hard to focus on it, but we're going to use these pens now and make it really pop. All right, so we've got these Pilot pens that I love, that if the painting were a little bit more wet, what I love about these pens is it works on wet paint. They don't, there are so many pens that when you go over, if they're not like brush pens and they're ballpoint pens, they stop when you hit any kind of water and they clog and you have to wait for them to dry out. But these go right over the semi-wet color, and they're just fun to, I don't know, kind of add. I think of them kind of like confetti. They kind of doodle up the whole thing and make it look really beautiful. There are a few artists here on YouTube that do this. I think it's Maremi, Maremi. That's the first time I ever saw her using these black Pilot G-Tech pens, and I thought, oh, those are neat. And so when I went and looked online, I saw that they also are available in all the colors, or a lot of colors, not all the colors, but basic rainbow colors. And they just add a really nice, fun, whimsical touch to your painting, especially when you're doing these abstracts. And you don't have to outline them. You can see I went over outside of the orange and outside of the purple, and put a few little, little things with dots. They're not stamen. I don't know what they're called. I should look it up on my flower. But it just, I don't know. I just like the touch that it adds with these pens, and the colors are fun. The orange, the yellow, they have a hot pink and a pretty red, and then some purple, and it just kind of, I don't know, sometimes I feel like the blobs lose a little something, and so it's fun to then turn them into whatever type of flower or thing that I see in the abstract. And I love the way that one in the middle kind of looks like a closed up or partially opening tulip. I just love that. And then I kind of tulipped up the pink one, kind of gave it that kind of shape. And you just you look at what the blob is and kind of go with it. You don't have to do this. I just think it adds a really nice touch. So let's see, getting to be almost done. Went around the leaves, and there's a green and there's a blue, and the green is a very bright, like a Kelly green. I'm not super crazy about it, but it melds nicely with the rest of these colors. It kind of adds a third green to this. And the blue would have been too dark, so I just thought the green pen is the one that I definitely want to use on this part. But it's fun. If you have not tried this style of painting, give it a try. It is, it's just, to me, it's relaxing. It's my ASMR, if that's the right way to say it. Or maybe other people, it's ASMR if you're watching it, I'm not sure. But give it a whirl. These color blends that you get, you couldn't, if you tried on purpose, you couldn't get it to do this. So it's just a delightful surprise every painting that you do, how different each one turns out. And I'm really thrilled with this one. I love the colors, and I kind of modeled it after, on Pinterest there was an FTD picture of Easter flowers, and I liked the colors. So I went with those colors and put this together, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you're still watching this video and are with me, please give me a like. That helps me to be able to share more content. And if you hit subscribe, then you will get paintings in your inbox, hopefully twice a week after my face is feeling better. But thank you to my subscribers. I really, really, really appreciate you coming back and painting with me. And I'd love to hear your comments if you've tried this. And I hope you all are enjoying our almost spring. And that'll do it for today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.